Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having a Leo sun and a Gemini ascendant in a natal chart. Now, these signs are compatible by sign. They're both extroverted, masculine signs. They are both sociable and gregarious. Gemini rising will make this person a little bit more pliable, adaptable, more easygoing than the typical Sun in Leo, and will be more flexible, at least upon first impression, as far as their way of thinking goes on various matters. Now, I look at this as something where, you have a Leo Sun that is about pride and likes to be king and likes to be dominant and perhaps in at least something, if not a number of things. But when you have the Gemini rising added into this mix, Gemini rising is about diversity and versatility and variety, and you have this Leo energy which channels through the ascendant. The ascendant could act like a filtration device, so to speak. And what happens is, I think with this combination, that this is a person that may like to talk about a lot of their achievements, can be very loquacious as far as this goes, and may also will want to be dominant or be quote unquote king in a variety of things. But the danger is sometimes with the Gemini rising, the lack of tenacity and persistence can come into play, and they have to make sure that they follow through and complete whatever is that they're attempting to do, whether it's a subject or what have you. And this could be, I had a friend that had Leo Sun and Gemini rising, and I think what it is that you look at, he wanted to own, I guess, like an automotive shop, be his own boss, so to speak. Leo is about authority, and Gemini rising can be dexterous and good at things with the hands, such as auto mechanics. So I thought this was very appropriate the way this worked out, and it seemed like that was the Leo Sun and Gemini rising energy combining. When you look at the sun sign in a person's chart, the sun sign represents one's basic wants, and the rising sign or ascendant represents the manner or method in which one attains these basic wants. So a Leo sun is about wanting recognition, notoriety, it can be attention seeking, wants to be king and dominant at least something, wants to stand out, is about pride. And I think with this combination, this person may take a lot of pride, so to speak, in communication. This could satisfy the Leo ego. Perhaps these things are attained, the Leo sun wants, which I described, the basic wants, might be attained through a Gemini-like profession, having Gemini rising, such as some kind of communication field. This could be a wide divergence of communication fields. There's a number of them out there. With data communications, it could be something with satellite technology, even working on as a technician on computers. It could be broadcasting. It could be journalism, could be writing, and through some Gemini-like profession, even what I described before, something with mechanics, working with the hands, showing Gemini rising dexterity, may perhaps the Leo sun basic wants may be attained. Now, it's also important to look at the aspect that the Leo sun makes to the Gemini ascendant. Now, in many cases, the Leo sun will make a sextile aspect to the Gemini ascendant, and this is positive and auspicious, and this would show a very good integration of this energy, even more so than just having, the Leo sun and Gemini rising unaspected. And another possibility, you could have a minor aspect, which would be auspicious and positive. This would be the semi-sextile. Let's say, for example, that someone has the Leo sun at 0 degrees and Gemini ascendant at 29 degrees. Well, this would be slightly positive and auspicious, not quite as a good positive blending as intense as the sextile aspect, but you could still have a good blending, but just not as strong or emphasized as the sextile major aspect. Now, you could also have an out of sign square take place, a square aspect, which would be adverse. Let's say, for example, somebody has the Leo Sun at 28 degrees, and they were to have the Gemini Ascendant at 1 degree. This would form an out of sign square aspect, and that would be adverse. And this could indicate, even though these signs they're compatible by sign, this aspect can cause a little bit of inner exasperation and tension. And this person at times may feel perhaps somewhat misconstrued or misunderstood by others, even if they're not cognizant of their astrological placements. And they may feel that what they're projecting outwardly is different inside, and may feel, well, boy, I may feel a little bit misunderstood, and this is a strong possibility in this case. Now, another possibility for an aspect can be a semi-square aspect. Now, let's say somebody has the Leo Sun at 15 degrees and a Gemini Ascendant at 29 degrees. Well, this would form a semi-square aspect, which is called slightly adverse. It's not as intense or strong as a square aspect, but it still could it's inharmonious, and it might cause that little modified feeling of feeling misconstrued or misunderstood by others. They may feel they're projecting something different outwardly than what's going on inside, but it's not as intense as the square aspect. And anyway, those are the possibilities as far as the aspects may go. And another thing to look at, which is important, is look at the house placement of the Sun in Leo. And having Gemini rising, well, the rising sign often will suppress to some degree the characteristics and outward expression of your Sun sign. However, if you look at the placement, the house placement of the Sun, these Sun sign energies may still come out at least somewhat prominently in this particular sector of life represented by the house placement. Now, let's say that the Sun resides in the second house. Well, this person may feel that need to shine in economical matters, things connected with income generated, their possessions. This person might take that Leo pride in terms of their possessions, and they might be might show that magnanimous side in connection with them having the Sun in Leo in that house. Now, let's say that the Sun in Leo is in the third house. Well, this could be like a kind of a double emphasis of Gemini, because the person would have Gemini rising and have the Sun in the house that corresponds with the Sun in Gemini. And this person may like to stand out in matters connected with communication, with short journeys, and perhaps in matters somehow connected with brothers and sisters, if applicable. So, anyway, the Sun can also be in the fourth house. Now, if the Sun is in the fourth house, this person may feel that need to shine in matters connected with their home and their family. This could be someone that may like to stand out in matters connected with their home, and it could be that person that likes to kind of show maybe some kind of ability, I guess you could say, at home. Maybe this person does something as far as maybe as far as like some Leo entertaining or talking about maybe what their, I guess you could say, their achievements or something, maybe with family members, is a possibility in bringing out that Leo, that generous, that magnanimous nature in matters with their home and family is a possibility with that placement. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the Sun in Leo and Gemini Ascendant in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having the Sun in Leo and a Cancer Ascendant in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.